Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blood, Fate, and Fortune, a game of swashbuckling, sorcery, and seduction, all set in the world of 7th. My name is Dan McCurdy, and I will be the storyteller this evening. You can find me at RevDMC247 on TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky, and if you find me anywhere else, don't tell anyone. I'm still in witness protection. I will now allow my players to introduce themselves, starting with Rafael.
Hello, I am Wolfgar, Reaper Wolfgar on Anywhere That It Matters, and I am playing Fr Rafael Rodriguez.
Hi everyone, my name is Natalie, also known as Gizmos Aplenty across all social media platforms. You can find me there. And tonight I will be playing Leonora Orsini de Sorte Strega.
Hello, I am a Took, I guess. I go by everywhere. I go by Took, I guess, everywhere. Especially here especially on the Twitchies and on the TikTokies. So please follow me there. And tonight I am playing the lovable, rambunctious muscle mommy, Roan Ibex.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lakar the Artificer, everywhere you can find me on socials. And once again, tonight I am playing Umberto Vitale, the Vidacian man who will definitely not be talking about what happened last time.
And I'm Jeremiah McCoy, also known as Basics of the Game on here, Twitch, and on TikTok. And I am playing Mykolas Kelvan, a Sarmatian soldier. I'm sure that's all he is, just a soldier.
Previously on Blood, Fate, and Fortune, our party had been moving through the nation of Uzura, heading north rather than other paths that they could maybe take to Avalon, because they wanted to stay out of trouble. They ran into a bunch of snow trolls and were fighting them off when they encountered a woman walking barefoot through the blizzard, snowy woods. Helping to save her from the trolls, she warned that her child was missing, was lost, and the party immediately tried to give aid, however found themselves separated in a magical blizzard that blew up. They found out, to their awkwardness, that this was in fact Vivara, a Ruzalka, who had been created by Matushka, the mythical figure of Uzura, in order to give her the opportunity for vengeance against a Sarmatian soldier who had wronged her. They found out those specifics when Mykolas decided it would be a good idea when she turned into a bear to attempt to boop the snoot, and things went badly from there. That's entirely how it went, and don't listen to him. Don't listen to anything Jeremiah tells you otherwise. That is how it went. Some time has passed since then. They did manage, rather than having to destroy Vivara, they were able to talk her down, beginning with the unexpected diplomacy shown by Roan Ibex, who instead of attempting to kill the monster, attempted to talk to her. And over time, they realized how she had been wronged by that Sarmatian soldier in the past, made her realize that Mykolas was not that man, and that maybe it was worth a chance. And they were given 3 days in order to escape the valley before they would be pursued yet again. They did not need nearly that much time. Once they realized what they were up against, the party made very good time in order to get out. I asked the party if there was anything they wanted to carry out in the valley before they departed. No one mentioned anything, so they moved with double speed, got out of the valley, and once they were out, a couple days travel, only then did they realize that they had left the snow trolls' heads at the crossroads where they had initially fought them. And so yet again, they do not have the trophy that they need for that particular. I asked you at every opportunity. You specifically said
that is so wrong.
Their own head.
I forgot.
They continue traveling most
ADHD prevails again.
through the various paths through the mountains. And they've been going higher and higher and further north. It is cold. As your caravan of your cart being pulled by Persepolis, and wherein is kept the body of Sir Bryant, the former mentor of Rowan that you are moving in order to offer proper burial in Avalon. Bryant still has an ice enchantment upon him, but does not need it. It is cold. The snow blows. Mykolas, you have felt better. As far as the mechanics of the game go, you are entirely recovered, but how that manifests story-wise is going to be entirely up to you. Based on what we talked about earlier, you are probably riding in the court rather than on horseback and have been for the last several days of travel. How is Mykolas feeling as you all are moving along the road?
Physically, he's probably still in a good deal of pain. He got torn open by a giant bear and also got stabbed by Leonora a couple of times. So he's felt better. And he actually feels good about how it resolved, though. We didn't have to kill Vivara. He felt that Vivara is a tragic victim, not completely a monster. And he just wishes he could have done more to let them free themselves from that particular situation.
As the rest of the party has been moving along, Raphael, your healing has been very much in need over the last few days. Where would you say, when you have a patient in as much need as Mykolas has been over the last few days, how would Raphael have been traveling?
Raphael probably would have traveled in the cart with Mykolas and is tending his wounds, much to his chagrin. He wouldn't he would fuss over him a little bit, but still let him have his space to heal. But Raphael is not very far from Mykolas, just due to the fact that he is in as much pain as he was in and nearly died. Yeah, no, he's not leaving Mykolas' side if he can help it. He'll check back in with Roan, looking up at her and making sure she's also okay. But for the most part, he's been playing a nurse to Mykolas as he is healed, because that's a heck of a thing to come back from.
And how is Mykolas as a patient? In his time as a soldier, he's probably had a few wounds. How does he do when being fussed over by a healer?
Probably I'm fine. It's all right. Go on. I will be fine. He's not mean to Raphael, but he is quiet. He doesn't complain about the pain. He's just stoically sits there and rides on the cart. And if Raphael begins to fuss, him, no, I'll be fine.
All right, Umberto, you typically are the one driving the cart. You went through a fair amount of that too, seeing that death, that kind of horror, and the things you had to do to keep Mykolas from freezing to death. How's Umberto dealing with all that?
That was a lot, and he's slowly just coming to terms with everything. But there's been what he did with Mykolas has actually strengthened his spirits, because it was something he wasn't sure he could do, and he did it, and now he's more excited. He's learning more about his gifts, so that's actually kind of it's keeping him warm.
Leonora, among the many and myriad wounds that Mykolas was bearing were a couple of knife wounds in the shoulder. No, one knife wound in the shoulder that got a little bit reinforced. How's Leonora handling just how badly hurt he was, and how does she feel about everything that went down with Vivara?
I think that Leonora is very much apologetic. She's very worrisome. Because she had been called upon many times back in the village to assist with these kinds of medical, not to this severity, but she knows that the particular herbs and stuff to use when people are wounded. and what helps calm them down and what helps relieve pain. So she'll probably check in with Raphael first and be like, is there anything you need? Is there anything that I can go fetch? Is there anything that I can search for? And then she'll kind of make herself present, but I don't think she's overly she's not giving herself that space with Mykolas immediately. She's mostly going through Raphael because she feels, well, obviously she feels bad about the knife wounds, but that's not it. It's more so of what Vivara was saying about her experience, and she's kind of replaying that over and over in her head.
And Rowan, with so many hurt or tending to the cart or healing, you are sort of the primary warrior on the ground. You're on horseback. Interestingly, I said Persepolis was pulling the cart, but would he be? With you in this position, would you be riding Persepolis in case of a need for skirmishing or anything like that?
I think, yeah, that would probably be the best bet, since she's the only one that's like of full health to an extent. Yeah, that's exactly what she'd be doing. Just being on Persepolis, and I think she'll probably be fairly lonely, but not lonely because they're behind her. But she's definitely been thinking very hard about the whole scenario and how that can happen. And for some reason, she keeps going back to the big dire wolf, and even though she was putting up a good game, she was actually shaking most of the time. And she's holding a pendant that nobody can really see, kind of like in her pocket, and she's kind of twirling it a lot as she's riding Persepolis. And every now and again, she'll just like pat him on the back of on the top of the head and reassure him that he's doing a good job.
Persepolis, for his part, is eagerly serving as Rowan's war steed. And the process that you all have seen to this point of Persepolis actually seeming younger every day has continued to the point that he is now essentially a warhorse in his prime. Fully muscled, fully capable of carrying Rowan. You imagine even if Rowan had got into full cavalry armor, Persepolis would be down for this. And darn near a draft horse, but more agile. And just sort of moving along with, and you all are moving through snowy mountain passes. This is notoriously rough terrain for horses and carts, but Persepolis seems to be doing a pretty strong job of keeping you all to the best path. Everyone who is riding or driving, so this is going to be Leonora, Rowan, and Umberto. I'm going to need you to make your finesse and ride rolls. Rowan and Lenore, you're doing this for yourself. Umberto, you're doing this basically for the health of the cart and those in it. Okay. 1, 2, and a 2. All right. So Lenora, you are going to take 1 minor wound just from some jostling in the saddle. Rowan, you are going to take 1 for, again, jostling in the saddle. Everyone else is going to take 2. The cart's not having the best time. No major, it doesn't break, it doesn't go off the track or anything, but the snow is continuing to get worse, and it is continuing to get colder, and the wind is continuing to get more and more biting. And Rowan, you are starting, actually this is going to be everyone, is more or less at the same moment going to realize we can't just ride this storm out. You're going to need some kind of shelter. Raphael, you will see that Mykolas, more so than anyone else, is getting cold in a way that he hasn't shown really before, a vulnerability to cold that he doesn't typically have. And he's a Samartian soldier who has fought in Uzura. He's usually pretty tough about the cold, but you can feel his core temperature is starting to drop.
Okay, so he's going to what he's going to try to do, if Mykolas will allow him, is sort of scoot up into him and kind of use part of his cloak to also wrap around him and also provide the body heat, because he seems that seems to make the most sense. And so if Mykolas doesn't just tell him like to go away, but assuming he allows him to do this, he's just gonna get him sort of bundled up, and
It
is
certainly
gonna.
helps.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly helps. You feel like you bought him some time, but you're very aware this is a temporary solution.
Has he mentioned that he used to fight out in this kind of weather?
That's a good question. Have you talked about that, Mykolas?
I think initially when asked, "Are you cold?" when they first started into this, he was like, "No, I've fought in Usura. I've been here for winter."
So knowing that, Raphael will sort of lean in and look at him and go, Mykolas, do you have any idea on where in the world we can rest or find shelter? Because you can't keep going like this. I cannot speak for the others, but I know that you are actually getting cold. So I feel like we need to find some place to be, but I'm not familiar with this area at all. This is the furthest I have been from Castile since I was born.
I assume Mykolas has at least some idea because he's lived in the wilderness. He's been here.
You are out of place. You are no longer in territory where you ranged as a soldier. However, you do know that the next major encampment, well, not even an encampment, a city, is Sladivgorod, which is a decent-sized city, but it's at the foot of the mountains, and you're still up in the high passes, so you're not getting there today. Particularly in this weather.
The nearest city is more distant. Another day of travel, and we will not do well in the dark trying to travel. We need to move to some place where we're in the lee of a hill or something to cut down the wind. And
like a cave?
Caves can be dangerous up here. Bears.
Oh.
But
more like that big one?
Maybe not that big, but still. But if we get in out of the wind, we can maybe make a camp. Unless somebody finds a structure near the road.
Let's see what we can see then. And is going to sort of speak up and say, see if you can find a place where we could potentially make camp. A structure, even if you can see it. Not sure if we can, but there's got to be somewhere where we can shelter. We can't make it to the bottom of the mountain in a storm like this. We're going to have to find somewhere to go.
Okay. Just give us a second, and Roan will kind of tap Persepolis to help her find something.
Okay. What is your approach to trying to find shelter somewhere? Like, are you just riding as fast as you can to find something along the road? Are you trying to scout?
I think she would probably try and scout out ahead if Leonora is okay with keeping watch for a second.
I mean, Leonora would also want to kind of keep an eye out for something a little bit more close by. So while you look ahead, Leonora would like to search around, and she's got that eagle eye. I know it's snowy, but maybe that could help.
Eagle Eye is going to be better for long distance looking because Eagle Eye is about seeing things at a distance.
Yeah.
Rather than
I think,
seeing things precisely.
Also, Roan will be trying to look for like kind of like small hunter lodges that they would keep if they have to sleep on the road and stuff like that.
Interestingly enough, you have been looking out for those for a while, and you keep finding them burned.
Ooh.
There have been a number of lodges around here, and you have found them burnt. Now, hunter lodges are not like nice. They are very rough survival shelters that get built for a moment. They're designed to not be of value because they can't afford to keep people there to protect them. So fire does happen, but this is like 3 or 4 in a row now. And it's starting to feel intentional. Okay, so with you kind of doing your widespread search and Leonora kind of looking for details that she can spot in a shorter area, Leonora, go ahead and give me your wits and notice, and Rowan, give me your wits and warfare, because this is army scouting.
Rowan also has eagle eyes. Would that help at all?
It's not going to give you any extra die, but it will expand what you can notice.
Okay.
Basically, it'll lower the threshold of what I'm looking for.
1, 2.
3 for Rowan.
3. All right. 4. Okay. Rowan, as you are about to set out, this was mainly a time-based risk, and with 3 and 4, respectively, you all are on this, and you find this relatively quickly. Lenora, as Rowan is about to set out, you, through the trees and through the snow, make out what appears to be a tower in the distance, and point this out to Rowan, who goes and rides. And Rowan, you find a tall keep structure, mostly the black rock of the mountains of this region. Not like what you all were in before. It's not just a tower. It is a full keep with towers present. It looks like a fairly strong defensive structure, likely to defend this pass and to defend Sladivgorod from armies that might move through this path. It does not seem like you don't see like encampments around it, so you don't know how many people are there, but if you're looking for shelter.
Ron will swoop back around, and when she gets back to the group, Lenora indeed is a tower. We can definitely rest there. I'm still gonna go in first to make sure there's no others or creatures or monsters potentially, but hopefully we're good.
I think that staying together might be a better idea.
I meant with all of us there, of course.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I can go with you.
You're staying right
No.
where you are.
Absolutely not.
No, you cannot. We're not doing this.
I'll go with you if you'd like.
Thank you.
Lenora will hop off her horse and give it to Umberto and take Umberto's position.
All right, so with the cart moving a little bit behind, Rowan and Umberto right ahead, and again, not far, maybe 100 yards or so ahead of the rest of the group. And you get, even as you are getting close to the castle, it is cut into the mountains. It sort of looks like they quarried out the area and built the castle immediately where they were quarrying the stones, which means that even on the approach to the castle, there's immediately a break of the wind. The castle seems to still be in relatively good repair. It's obviously incredibly weather-beaten, but does not look like it is abandoned or anything. It just doesn't look like it is currently garrisoning troops. Uzura not currently being at war with anyone that would quickly threaten this road. That makes sense, because it would take a lot to keep supply lines to a castle like this going, especially during the winter. So as you all approach, there are a few outbuildings, a barn, that as you get close, you can see some heat waves coming off of it, so probably being warmed, likely with animals staying in it. And as you approach to the castle, there are massive wooden doors, looking like very well-aged mahogany. that are currently that hold the path shut, and no immediate guards or anyone noticing you.
Okay.
I would like to
Laura?
read the castle. Or read
It is
the
a
cave.
castle.
Of course,
There
reading
is. There are threads connected to it, but with no humans to read in it, you're not getting a ton of it. And you're getting the impression if there are, well, hang on. There's threads in and out of it. It is clearly occupied, but you would guess not by a lot of people, but it is a little odd. Like, in one moment you would feel like there's maybe 2 threads there, and the next maybe there's 6, and but it's hard to tell. This is an old war structure, and old war structures have weird fate things connected to them. A lot of fates have been decided by decisions that were made in that building.
All right. Shall we see who our possible receivers are?
I'll take the head. Yes. And Ron will very politely but loudly.
They're actually massive knockers on the doors, and so you're able to grab one of these brass knockers and just wham.
Of course, she does it with one hand. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
Of course she does. That's my
For a while,
muscle,
there
mommy.
is no response and no immediate noise, and you're starting to reach to grab to knock again when you start hearing latches being released behind the door, and then the door starts squeaking open. The hinges clearly protesting. These doors are massive. None of you would be excited about having to beat your way through them. As the door opens, an older-looking gentleman, not ancient, but very gray, his hair tied back in a style that Mykolas would recognize as indicative of usury nobility, is there and looks out at Roan and Umberto, who are out the door and a bit beyond them to the cart where everyone else is further back. I was not expecting visitors or supplies at this time. How may I help you?
Well, we're looking for a shelter. We're just travelers passing by on our way to somewhere farther than here, but for now it's cold. Would you be okay if we took rest here?
He kind of pushes the door open a little bit more and steps out and looks at, the blizzard is worse than we were fearing. How many do you number?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have horses.
Yes. Here, and he steps out, closes the door behind him, and walks pretty freely out with you out to the barn, which he opens, and gestures for the cart and the horses to come forward. It's a pretty well appointed barn. You can see it. It's way bigger than it needs to be right now. Typically, it looks like it could hold like many officers' horses, and right now there only seem to be 3 or 4 animals in it. But there is like a fire pit in the middle of it that has a well-stoked fire going that's keeping it warm enough. You suspect if it's full of animals, it doesn't need it, but with only a few, they do this to keep it warm because there isn't enough body heat when the cold gets to its worst. And he's checking the fire and gestures for you all to bring in your horses and wagons.
I think we do that.
Yes.
And as we do, Lenora is going to pull a few apples out of the cornucopia and just give to Persepolis and the other 2 horses that we have with us.
They have come to expect this, and they're like, "We did good. We deserve a treat." And
You did excellent. Bueno.
And they receive it.
Give me my payment.
Actually, a few of the other horses, seeing that those horses are getting apples, like they start stamping, and
I am also giving. I'm giving all of the horses all of the food.
As the cart comes in and stuff, he's right there with you, like helping to unhitch the horse that you had pulling the cart, helping with saddles and everything, even helping with currying some of the animals, just quick brushing, not super in depth, but enough to get them comfortable for what he hopes to be a short stay, and then start selecting. Very well, very, very fine animals, especially this one.
Actually, I'm sorry. What is your name?
Terribly sorry, rude of me. Boyar Andrei Volkov. This is Castle Volkov. Welcome to my realm.
Roan, a pleasure. And she'll hold out a hand to shake.
They'll shake it, and it's a good firm grip. And he returns that, and it's like, and yes, sorry, business as must demands. Can I get the rest of your names?
Umberto.
Umberto, good to meet you.
Likewise.
I am Leonora.
Leonora, lovely to meet you, young lady. And he kind of glances at the cart.
Raphael is very nervous because he doesn't know what the quick out of character. Would Raphael know what the Inquisition situation is out here? If there is one?
Inquisition. So Usura is not, it's more the Orthodox side of the faith. So Inquisition agents come sometimes, but they're never officially empowered. They're more like secret agents in Usura. And when they get caught, Usurans tend to deal with them very brutally.
Okay, so him calling himself Father Raphael is probably not a good idea. So he's just gonna say, "My name is Raphael."
Raphael, good to meet you. And he kind of looks you over. Based on the way you're always describing yourself, you look kind of clergyman-y, but if he notices that, he doesn't immediately twig to it. It's like, and you, sir?
Mykolas will straighten. Mykolas Kelvan.
From Sabarisha. Hello.
Hello.
And he offers his hand for a shake, and then he's by the cart now, and he looks in and goes, "Oh, I see you all have had loss. We have our vault in the chapel over this way, if you would like something better than the cart for while you stay."
How does Persepolis react to that?
Yeah.
Persepolis feels like it seems expected, like does not immediately react negatively to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
How do we all feel about that? Because I feel like it's one of those, we have been kind of protective of the cart and making sure that the cart stays and does what it's supposed to do. Like, how are we feeling about leaving him interred in a crypt of sorts? But like, especially Roan, because Raphael's going to look at Roan, because Roan, this is her mentor. This is somebody that is very important to her. He's going to look to her to make the decision
100%.
on where that goes.
I'm assuming obviously we're going to take him with us when we leave. Is it safe?
This is not Eisen. Yeah, yes. It is simply a cold vault. It's kept warm in here for the animals, and so proper protection of the body, and is a place of honor and respect.
And she'll just look to everyone like with a very unsure face.
Mykolas will look at you and just give you a firm nod of this is fine.
Okay. Full warning, he is very cold to the touch. So, but yeah, that will be fun.
Here.
Thank you.
And he goes and he's puttering around and he pulls out a word is vanishing. A thing that you put people or bodies on when they can't walk themselves to carry
Like
them.
Gertie?
Litter. A litter.
A litter.
A litter?
Yeah, he brings out a litter that that 4 people can hold. So you can, because he also looks to Brian and is like, that's not a small man. This is probably best divvied up.
8 foot and counting, my dude. That is a big dude.
And you all are able. He does not impose. He takes you to a external chapel on the building. You get the impression this is where a lot of military funerals maybe take place. People who pass when they're in camp after meeting battle, and takes you in, and he leads you through the chapel, and it goes, and you realize you're passing actually into the palace proper. As you go through this wall, and you see a fairly massive family vault, and you see the name Volkov written over the doors, and going in, he goes and opens a one of the vaults in this mausoleum, and actually it has engraved on it Andrei Volkov, and he's like, seems only proper if I'm going to lend one of these out to lend my own. I do not plan to make use of it for some time. If you're uncomfortable with this, can always just put him on the floor or on one of the pallets, but
I think this is fine. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Raphael, give me your wits and scholarship as you all are walking in there.
That's a decent pool for Elmo. Oh, I gotta put this in my lap because I can't half see. 4.
4.
Mhm.
This is very second prophet. To use our world terms, this feels very orthodox. And just the imagery, it's different from anything you saw in Castile, but you did study it. And you know, this is a branch of the Vaticine faith that did not ever follow the third prophet. Like, even you revere the third prophet, you just didn't radicalize his teachings the way the Inquisition did. This group, no interest in him. And was one of the things that led to some of the fights between Usura and some of the southern nations. And so as it's put in place, there is a sense of peace in here that you get just from recognizing that imagery. And with that in, he closes the vault behind him. It's not locked, just closed, and steps around and guides you all into the palace. Not the palace, the keep. And as he walks in, he's like, one moment, my lady will be very unhappy with me if she feels I have been keeping guests from her. Soraya, are you here? We have visitors. And a woman steps out from one of the halls wearing a nice dress, but nothing particularly showy or frilly. Definitely designed to be warm. As she steps out, older, but not quite so old as him. There's definitely streaks of gray in previously red hair, sort of like fire with streaks of ash going through it, as she steps out and greets you all and goes, Andre, you did not tell me. He's like, they only just arrived. And she comes out and gives a little mini curtsy, and she's like, I am Lady Soraya Estrovich. I am the lady of this castle. Welcome to our home.
Thank you for your hospitality.
And she's
Indeed.
like, what brings you through? And Andre looks over and is like, the storm is pretty bad on the road and in the pass. They came seeking shelter. She's like, oh, of course. Well, I have several rooms that I can set up for you. Do you all prefer your own? Do you prefer bunking together? What are your preferences?
Oh, we don't want to impose. If we need to group up, that is fine.
She laughs and she's like, my dear, we have this entire castle. And right now it's just us and a few servants. So honestly, no imposition at all. But wherever you're most comfortable, we are not well known to each other, and if you'd be more comfortable in rooms with each other, you have only to ask.
Enjoy the luxury while you have it.
You know this includes you, right?
Of course, I know.
Good. I just needed to make sure that you knew. And just kind of gives a squinty-eyed, like, I'm watching you.
Soraya notices this and looks back and forth and goes, "Oh, a soldier with recent wounds, yes?"
Yeah.
Indeed, and he is much stubborn, this one. He does not like to sit still, and prophet forbid he take some rest.
She gives Andre a grin and says, "I believe I'm aware of the type." Very well. We'll have rooms, one for each of you. And
That sounds lovely.
we'll lead you down into a guest wing. And the rooms are very nice. You get the impression that these are set up for officers, which in Uzura is almost exclusively nobility. And so there's a certain standard of who gets the sort of thing. And so everything is very well set up. There is the rooms that she selects for Leonora and Roan are very much ladies like setup, like very nice, beautiful art on the walls and everything. The men's are more utilitarian, but certainly not less comfortable. As very well set up. There are every room even has a little, it's almost an efficiency, like a place where you can keep some food and you can keep some drink handled if you take orders and care to eat in your room. And once you're all kind of settled in there and have a chance, well, actually, real quick, as you all, Leonora, yes.
I want to do something.
Go ahead.
I would like to start drawing a card.
All right, what you drawing?
I'm going to draw the Moonless Night.
The Moonless Night. All right. Out of curiosity, what is your vision for the Moonless Night? Because there's a lot of things that could look like.
Yes, I am very much inspired by our most recent encounter. And so I am going to be drawing the valley, and I'm going to be drawing a woman within a cave under a sea of stars.
All right. Go ahead and make your roll.
All right, I will. I don't remember what I need to roll, so other people go.
As the rest of you're kind of in there and you're looking around. Raphael, your room, you're starting to think maybe you got clocked. Because as you walk in, there is a fair amount of religious imagery and iconography in this room. Even one of the windows is actually stained glass with an image of the second prophet in it. Something that never really took on, or at least if it did, never, like in Castile, actual imagery of the prophets tends to be rare. But you from your studies clearly recognize him with his staff and everything. So you can kind of see this iconography, but a number of paintings and the like all around. And just, this feels like this is where the priest stays.
Upon it's just like he'll mutter under his breath, because assuming he's alone, he's just going to say, I didn't think I was that easy to read.
Ro, as you see your room with all of the pretty things for lady, and also Usuran ladies. So, like, there's a place for a big sword to be put up, and
I think being alone for the first time, like sleeping was, she just goes, "Oh, that's fucking cool." She's like warrior geeking out.
All right, Umberto. The room that you were put in, a little bit more utilitarian than the others, but you can see there is a rack on the wall. And at first you're trying to figure out what it's for, and then you're like, oh, this is where someone who carries more daggers and swords than people might normally expect can put them all and have quick access to them when it's time to get up again.
This is... They thought of everything.
And Mykolas, you get the impression this is where a visiting whoever is commanding the troops on the march. This feels like a commander's quarters. In addition to very comfortable everything else, there's a large table in the middle with writing utensils and maps and charts and things like that scattered around.
Mykolas will look around, take it in. He's stoic, as he often is. Places his rifle against a wall somewhere, and because he is stubborn and a bit of unwilling to admit to his own weakness, he will go for a walk after he looks through the room.
Just wandering the halls of the castle?
Yeah.
Exploring? All right. It is a massive keep. It was sort of built into the side of the mountain, and you realize actually dug into the side of the mountain. There's a place where you get the impression it's sort of an inner keep. So if this keep was ever under attack and the outer walls fell, this was a place that they could fall back, that there would not be many ways to get to, and likely a bolt hole from somewhere. And you're just walking through the halls. It's frequently dark because they're not kept all illuminated all the time. And now you're into a place that is not illuminated by windows. There are, however, torches and sconces. So depending on how interested in your search you can get, you could pull a torch out of a sconce and light it if you wanted.
He will just wander through the sections he can see. And if it gets too dark, he's not going to intrude too deeply. He's he's finding places where he can walk.
As you're walking along and just sort of seeing, you see an image. You see a woman. Sorry, looking down at a desk, reading. Looks like reading something on a desk or something. She's not in any of the rooms. She's in the hallway, but there's at the end of the hallway, there's like a low chest of drawers or something like that there might be something on. She is about 50 feet away from you down the way, in a fairly nice dress from the looks of it. Does not seem to have noticed you yet.
He will walk fully sort of upright like he's almost always doing when he's not hurt. But he will make a point of making enough noise so as to not startle her.
After hearing a few steps, she suddenly looks up and kind of turns and looks at you. You can see her eyes go wide, and she vanishes down a side passage, like just takes off.
Sometimes I have that effect on people.
All right. Lenora, while you're working, taking a moment, kind of glancing around, there are soldier accoutrements here, but you get the impression this might occasionally be where a visiting noble woman of an army officer might stay while he's out on deployment as a place to come back. This is more wifey, I guess, energy than the soldier energy than anything else you've seen. And it has a little writing desk, which is perfect for you to do your painting. Have you had a chance to do your roll?
Yes, and I got 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. All right. You're making pretty good progress, and just sort of the feel of the sensation. What kind of expression are you giving Vivara? I'm assuming she is the model for the woman in the cave.
I'm giving her more of a woeful kind of look rather than an angry look, like determined, but she's not malicious, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. There is a knock on your door.
Just a moment. She's going to put her things. Is this like a desk drawer, or is it more of a...
So it actually has a roller top, so you could actually pull the top to conceal what you're doing. Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna roll it down, and then I'm gonna go answer the door.
Lady Soraya is there.
Oh, hello, my lady.
My dear. I was just checking to see if everything was okay.
Everything is wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm not used to such luxuries, so this is very nice.
Am I correctly tracking your accent as Vidachin?
See.
She kind of reaches out and pulls out some blankets, and she's like, I imagine you're not used to cold such as this, and I thought I'd bring some extra supplies along to help.
She had already been like holding herself or had like an extra coat, or like she hasn't taken her coat off kind of a deal. So she's like, that is much appreciated. Thank you so much, Senora.
Oh, actually, because she sees you like holding a blanket over, she's like, let me show you something. We frequently would have guests from all sorts of regions, some of whom are not used to the cold. Even not all in Uzura are used to the cold that we get here in the passes. And she would go over to a wardrobe on the side of the room and open it up, and you see a number of cloaks and coats and robes. And she selects one in particular, grays with a darker gray fur lining along the side, even a full hood, and you can see it is streaked with patterns of silver that have been worked into the cloth. And she brings it over to you and is like, here, put this on. This will keep you warm in the occasionally drafty hallways while you get used to the cold.
Well, why, thank you. And she'll go ahead and like try it on, like kind of meekly, but like very excited as well.
It is a little short for you. Like it's not sweeping the floors. It's kind of coming up probably to your calves, but so much warmer than you were before. And looks over. Oh, absolutely lovely.
Grazie. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We are working on dinner at the moment. Is there anything that you do not like that is not to your taste?
Oh no, don't mind me. Is there anything I can help with?
If you would like, you may certainly come along. If you would like to be of aid, if you idle hands and all that.
Yes, I think I want to finish one more thing up here, but yes, I would love to come and help.
Go down when you get back to the grand hall that we came through. You can't miss it. It's one of the few open doors.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much again, and I will see you just in a little while.
Okay. And for the record, all of you saw the rooms that each other were being put in. You were not like widely separated. You're in the same hallway. There are a few empty ones between you because they had specific rooms in mind. But in general, it's not a big mystery where everyone's at. So if you want to start looking around for each other, you absolutely can.
Lenora's going to stay in her room and she's going to finish up her drawing.
Okay. Another round of painting. Go ahead while you are making that roll, Rafael.
Raphael's gonna go and find Rowan, because he realizes that in caring for Mykolas and stuff like that, he hasn't had as much time as he probably would have liked to spend with her directly. So he is going to go and find her and do that if he can.
To be clear, you are all traveling in a very small caravan, so it's not like you've been neglecting her. But sure, you are able to go down and knock on the door, and you walk in and see this warrior woman's sort of almost little mini apartment set in. And Rowan, see, when Raphael opens the door, is Rowan like fully just out on the bed, like, or like what?
I think actually, I don't think he has seen her without all the clothing before. She has got she's so she has on essentially like a warrior band around the chest, but no shirt or like armor or anything on, no helmet or anything. But she's in her pants and boots, and you can see the crazy amount of muscles and scars that you've never seen before, just like all over her back. There is actually like on her right shoulder a tattoo of the Hunters Guild, that is in black and like almost stamped onto her shoulder. And she just kind of turns and look at you, and you can see where it's usually hidden by cloth, there's like a large like bite scar on her clavicle. And I will say though, she has kept all that hidden from Leonora also. She has never ever like revealed that. So when she turns and see that you have opened the door, she immediately, oh shit, like turn and like go to grab a shirt.
He'll immediately drop his gaze and sort of crack the door to where she's just like, I am so sorry. I should have waited for your response.
It's okay. Don't just just give you and you get here.
I can wait. You let me know. Yeah, it's like, you let me know when you are ready. And we'll shut the door and wait outside. If anyone were to walk by at this moment and see Raphael, he is as red as the Inquisition's gear right now. I'm going to tell you like right now.
Lenora heard a scream. She looks out the door, sees the father in red, and just goes,
I'm going to say, given everything that's going on, like right as all that happens, Umberto is walking out of the door and just sort of sees it. What's Umberto doing when he sees that happen?
As soon as he sees that, do I have to do everything? And he will go over. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for her to be decent.
And he will push the door open, and he will shove Raphael in and shut the door.
Like Roan clumsily put on the shirt, so the shirt is like very unbuttoned, so abs and everything is still showing for the most part. And so you get pushed straight into her chest.
Thank me later.
Yeah,
and he will walk away.
At this point, Raphael's just gonna stand at is sort of gonna just sort of resign to his fate and hold very, very still and shut his eyes just for a moment, because he's just gonna I imagine he's sort of like this. It's just kind of like and he has his hands out like to the side, holding it up, saying, "Look, hands are not where they shouldn't be."
I think at that point,
it's one of those "I'm not touching you without your permission" level things. That's all that really is.
At that point, Ron will fucking Umberto, and then the door shuts, and she just will take your hands and wrap them around her and just hug you, and then pull you away and go, "Did you need something? Also, I feel like I don't really need this anymore." She will kind of turn and just snatch the shirt off, like one-handed, just kind of.
Lord, you're going to do wonders for this man's blood pressure.
I'm just going to say, that seems an invitation. Does Father Raphael accept it or leave?
I mean, he at this point is just going to look at Rowan in the sense of reverence, the same way that he would look at the prophet in worship level shit, and then if not stopped, we'll take Rowan up on that invitation, if that is what is happening right now.
All right. We are going to go ahead and fade that to black.
Oh, for the love of no, it's not.
Lenora, rolls on that last one?
Yep, I rolled 3, but I only needed 2, so.
You needed the 2, so you have an extra. Is there an edit you would like to make?
Ooh, I would like, and it's got to be in my room. Damn it. I'm just kidding. I would like to have found a hidden door.
Okay.
In my room.
You were poking around, looking at things like the cloak that she gave you is nice, but you're curious because there were a bunch of cloaks in that wardrobe. And as you are poking around in the wardrobe, there's one thing you're kind of trying to reach behind. You think you see something behind it, and you feel a lever type thing. And when you give it a tug, the back of the wardrobe suddenly pops loose. And you're able to push, and it seems to go into a secret passage behind your room.
Very interesting. She's gonna poke her head through, and
It is completely dark inside.
lovely. She gonna close that shit. And is there any like weapons or anything that are in the room? I know there are racks, but is there anything like?
There is, as you were looking around, at the writer's desk, actually, as you're kind of looking for different implements and stuff to help you out with your painting, at the back, there is a case about a foot long with a glass top on it. And underneath the glass is an elegantly worked silver dagger with actually a kind of serpentine aspect to the blade.
Perfect.
Not very. It is mostly straight. Like if you could get a straight blade out of cutting off some of the curves, it's not one of the ridiculously serpentine ones. But yeah.
It's not like Rumpelstiltskin's dagger from Once Upon a Time, which is fine. I'm going to take that dagger, admire it for a minute, and then I'm going to go to the wardrobe, and I'm going to close the wardrobe. The back of it has also been closed, and I'm going to put the dagger in like where the two doors would close to like try to secure it.
As you're kind of looking at, you're trying to find a place. This hidden door is actually very elaborately worked, and so it's designed to not be immediately visible. But as you're looking at it, there isn't an obvious place to use the dagger to.
Oh, I was going to use it for like the front, like the opening of the wardrobe.
So the actual front. Okay, yeah, you were able easily to put the dagger through the handles so that if anyone tried to open it from the inside, you don't know how long it would hold, but it would at least give warning that someone was trying to come in from that way.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. And then I'm going to go to the kitchen.
All right. While you're on the way there, Mykolas, as you have been wandering around, do you pursue the young woman or do you just go elsewhere? Do you come back to the group? Muted.
He's not going to pursue the young woman. That leans into some creepy area at that point. But he's not going to chase the girl who's got startled and ran away. Mm-hmm. So he's going to continue his walk, but he's going to let the walk bring him back towards where everybody else was. He's still walking the hall, but he's just walking the other direction, I guess.
And unlike some castles you've been in, this place has a very utilitarian intent in mind. And so you're still very cognizant of where you are in the castle. And so it's fairly easy to get back to the others. And coming along, there is some lovely art and stuff along the way. Some of it's Samartian. And how exactly Samartian art gets on the walls in a military castle is a story that kind of tells itself. How is Mykolas feeling about that?
Usura and Sarmatia have been at war several times, so he doesn't have any particular emotions on that. It's like
there are many Samartian keeps with Usura and art.
Yeah, so he is just walking, like he's looking at him, admiring both sides, but yeah, he's being very thoughtful as he walks around and sees if there's anybody else around. Also, maybe if there's a library.
As you're kind of poking around, you don't immediately stumble on a library. You do stumble on a Castilian piece of art that just as you're sort of looking around, and it's got a fairly lovely little grass field. There seems to be a brook going through it, and a small hovel / hermitage type thing along it. And where everything else has been Usuran or Samartian and maybe the occasional Eisner piece, this is standing out. Usura and Castile have fought, but they fought each other in Eisen. Neither either invaded the other.
He will look at the painting to see if he can see a signature or an indication where it came from.
As you're kind of looking around, No signature that you can detect. It's amazingly well done, though. The incredibly realistic. You can barely even make out the paint strokes. And the only reason you would know this is Castilian is the one actual bit of text that you can see is basically says that it was painted near the city of San Juan.
He's like, he's obviously not going to touch the painting. That's not something you do. You don't touch paintings. That would be crazy. But he will stand there examining it for a while, just kind of taking it in.
All right. Umberto. You pushed Rafael through. You hear the door close. You hear some stuttering, and then you hear the sound of cloth hitting the floor.
My work here is done. And he will go wandering the halls just to explore and look around.
Mm-hmm. As you are walking around, you see a young woman, again, running across the hallway, like seeming from, like you're looking down the hallway. There's doors on opposite sides of the hallway, and you see a woman looking fairly nervously over her shoulder, running from one to the other across the hallway. Never quite seems to engage you. Umberto, you've seen this young woman run across the hall, looking like she's being pursued.
And he will kind of watch, and he'll look around to see if there's somebody following her and try to see where she's going.
You wait for a little while, and like she's out of your viewpoint almost immediately because it's a hallway, so your peripheral is incredibly limited. But not too long after, you do see a figure looking fairly similar to Andre, but you don't think the same guy. Walking kind of a slow, in slasher movies, how the slasher never actually runs. They just always have a very intense, it's that kind of walk.
He's instinctively going to just grip the handle of his sword as he's walking towards them.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going to draw it just yet.
You walk down the hallway, and when you get to where the two doors are, the first weird thing is that they're both closed, and you didn't hear them being open or shut. You've got the door on the left that they came out of and the door on the right that they went into.
Either of these are very well maintained. Could be nerves. New place. And he will just continue, but he's going to just keep a watchful eye and ear out for things.
Okay. Leonora, you get to the kitchen, and you can see Andre and Soraya both chopping vegetables. There seems to be stew in the pot. And this, you have pictures in your head on how nobility behaves, and them themselves in the kitchen preparing the food for company. You never heard of a merchant prince doing that, that's for sure.
Is there anything that I can help with?
Oh, my dear, Soraya says, turning around. Are you any good at chopping carrots?
I've been chopping carrots for a very long time. I think I can do that.
Excellent, because Andre chops carrots like he's fighting the war still, and they come out all mangled. Andre, peel potatoes. And And he kind of grumbles as he kind of gets pushed away from the cutting board, and she kind of sets him up and shows you kind of the stew she's putting together and the sort of length she's going for, and sets to work cutting.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but don't you all have servants to help you with these kind of things?
She laughs and she goes, "It's a very big house, and there's a lot of things for them to maintain. And so we generally take the charge and handle, particularly when we have guests available."
Well, that is very kind of you, and I think more noble than I could ever imagine.
She laughs and she goes, I know we don't quite meet the picture, but in a time of war, we would have a full company and an entire cadre of servants. But as is, it's it's happier here. So long as we, keep to the small parts of the house.
Do you tend to have lots of visitors?
In times of weather, occasionally people who go through the paths will stop by. Not many. The locals, there are superstitions about this place.
Superstitions?
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, you might have noticed the castle cuts quite an intimidating figure, and some of Andre's forebears were not the most pleasant of people.
Well, that is quite unfortunate. I mean, you all have been very welcoming and very. We just appreciate your hospitality.
It is so good to be able to be hospitable that pleasure is all ours. And kind of sets about Andre. Andre actually goes over. There's a section in the kitchen wall that has been placed very near one of the exterior walls, where the general cold of the outside keeps meat a little bit more chilled. And he brings in some meat that he's starting to chop up. You would guess some sort of large bird that he's chopping up, turkey size type thing, for meat to put in the pot.
As she's cutting carrots and assisting and helping around, she's just gonna kind of ask about the history of the keep and see kind of what histories or stories that they have of it.
You get a pretty frank story. He is the Boyar Volkov, and so it's his family history, and it has occasionally been brutal. They have not, for instance, always been loyal to the Usuran clan. There have been times when they've been closer to robber barons. And to hear Andre tell it, that's where it stopped. Brutal people being brutal robber barons, essentially. And it's not something, as he tells the story, it sounds like a story he's very familiar with and not particularly proud of. Soraya then goes into much bigger detail, and it's but there's also been rumors that the keepers of the castle have been any variety of monsters. We get visitors from the Hunters Guild all the time because he'll tell that we are vampires. He'll tell that we are werewolves. He'll tell that we have trapped our daughters and done unspeakable things. So we've never had daughters. Our son is currently in the war, but that lovely robe that you have is actually was Andre's sister when she was younger.
Oh, well, it is very nice, and I promise to return it when I'm not using it, and I appreciate it.
Where are you all headed from here?
Well, we are heading more east. It is quite a journey with the loss of a loved one, and we would like to bring him home to his proper burial place.
Andre looks up at that. Yes, he, if I didn't miss my read on his armor, a Knight of Avalon, yes?
To my understanding, perhaps. I know that he was part of the Hunters Guild as well. I'm surprised he may have possibly come here a few times.
They kind of look by, and he's like, "Did we have any hunters lately?" And Sarai's like, "Not that anyone's mentioned to me." With so few in the castle now, mostly the villagers just stay away. There's a few outlying settlements, small little villages that when they come by, they just give us as wide a berth as they can as they pass. The villagers of the mountains are very much of the don't trouble unless trouble troubles you type mindset. So if you come looking for trouble, occasionally a young man will knock on the door, believing that with a tower like this, surely there's a maiden in need of rescuing in it somewhere, but they have all unfortunately had to go back unanswered.
Well, it is, again, just superstition. But no, we do appreciate your hospitality. You were saying about unwelcome people or unwelcome actions. I don't remember exactly what you said. But not great people. Have there been instances of forest fires or anything like that up the mountain?
Andre looks at that and is like, yeah, fires in the forest are rare. It's so cold and so wet most of the year that we will occasionally, though, get a dry season, and there will be outbreaks of flame. We'll probably do one.
Well, we just noticed on our way here just a few hunter lodges or just keeps, just small places were burnt, and I don't know how often that is, but it seemed that they were heading this direction.
Andre has a little bit of a look in there, and he's like, the Hunters Guild, if anything, is as well, the superstitious are as cautious about the Hunters Guild as any of the monsters that they hunt. They will happily pay a hunter to deal with any monsters that are troubling them, but very few would ever want their daughter to marry one. So occasionally, if the villagers worry that the hunters are up to something, they might look for their various their various lodges and burn them or deface them in some way. We tried to discourage it, but you can see we don't have much in the way of manpower at the moment.
I understand. Well, I just figured more of a report than anything else.
Mm-hmm. But very, very much appreciated, and they're continuing. And soon, a lovely stew is the smell of it is drifting out of the kitchen and filling the great hall. Around this point, I'm going to say that Roan and Raphael are coming to a refractory period, and they've got the infamous L-shaped blankets going in the bed. And how are you two doing? So we know how they're doing, and
he's just going and says, well, that's certainly one way to spend time together. I am not hating it.
Ron is just gonna kind of tap him on the chest, and she will get up and grab her water skin, drink some of it, and then hand it to him.
He will gladly take a guzzle or two and then hand it back to her.
And
remember to hydrate, people.
Hydration is key.
And she will go, and like you can see her face like fully flushed. And she's like, well, hope I feel like that was a long time coming, and thank you. I don't know. This is weird. I'm sorry. And she just starts to kind of like stand up a bit.
He'll reach up, sort of grab a hold of her arm and gently kind of caress like the inner part of the forearm, kind of like where the elbow, like the dip in the elbow, and just sort of rub his thumb across there and says, "You are every bit as beautiful as you always have been. I am glad you let me see more of you." and not just and not just your skin either. It takes a lot to be vulnerable with someone. So, thank you.
Are we fading back to black based
No.
on what?
I can't turn off the pretty frizz. I can't.
she will start to put the her warriors wrapping on back on onto her chest, and she'll just kind of look at Raphael and go, you know, the last time I showed off the scars, the guy was very scared. So
and he is an idiot.
very much so. He was.
His loss is my gain in this matter.
Ooh, you're just pouring it on, aren't you? That was more so tucked in.
We've got the cameraman who like keeps bringing it back in, moving it back out, bringing it back in, moving it back.
Yeah, the cameraman is earning his keep right now.
Are they going to make it to dinner? Let me ask that question.
She'll kind of like start the stand and then go, I mean, are you at least a bit curious?
I mean, I am, but I figure you will tell me whenever you are ready to tell me. As much as I may want to know, I'm not going to force it out of you. That's your story to tell, not for me to take. I won't take what's not freely given.
You know what? Because I feel like you've earned it. And then she'll sit back and kind of lift one leg up onto the bed. Pick one, and I'll tell you what it's about.
Okay, we're playing this game. He's like, all right then. And he'll sit up, sort of using the blankets to cover like the waist and the hips area and sit across from her. His shirt's still off. And he will take his hand and sort of trace the big bite mark. Very gently, not of anything. It's just like, what's that one from?
Ooh. And you can see the like memories like flash in her eyes, like very rapidly. And she says, well, good memory and a bad memory. This is from a vampire wolf hybrid type of deal.
Oh my.
As I was running for my life.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. I run for my life a lot in this line of work, if I'm being honest with you.
But I know how fully capable you are, but that seems like a lot more than it probably should be.
I guess I am kind of. Well, this was actually I got this. This is the first wound, like scar I gotten. It was like actually right before I met. And then you kind of see her just a little teary-eyed, but proud all at the same time. It was right before I met him. So my mentor, you know, it's. So it's this scar means a lot to me.
I imagine so. Scars have a way of telling stories. If only I could keep mine. And he kind of chuckles as he looks down at his chest. Any of the injuries that Rowan may have seen him have that have probably left some scarring are gone. They're not really there. Where you think they should be. Where Rowan is this map of all the stories she could tell with every different scar and stuff. Raphael doesn't have them. At least not with any sort of sense of permanence. Like one that he got from when they were in Fontaine. That the pretty scar, decent scar he got from that is gone. Like a very thin, like line where he would have had that, like it would have been, you've had scars that have healed for years at this point. So it looks like that, but in the space of that short time frame.
Oh. So you're a super priest, like a superhuman, like a.
I don't. I am just a priest. I'm not anything special. At least I don't think I am. I'm just
Um,
me. I
my dear,
don't.
you heal like an immortal person. That's not normal.
No,
I have not.
no, it isn't. And you see a figure dressed in brown robes looking at you both from in front of the door. Cutting to the dining hall.
Son of a bitch!
The rest of you
With
have
my-
gathered for a meal. As Lenora and Mykolas are kind of getting together in a small table. Like, there is a grand hall. You could feed hundreds of people in this hall, but a smaller table has been sort of set up close to the kitchen and arranged for everyone. And as everything's being set up, Lady Soraya kind of looks up and goes, two of you are missing. Raphael and Roan, I believe. Should I go and fetch them?
Well,
I'm sure they'll be here when they're ready.
yes, they, I'm sure, are taking care of other matters.
What's Umberto looking like at that? Has Umberto given them the skinny?
They'll be down when they're they'll be down. Hopefully not too soon.
I imagine Umberto like looking the others and it's like, we've got a code blue. We've got a code blue.
He'll just kind of look. He'll kind of just look, and he'll just have this smirk on his face. He's not sitting, but yeah, he just kind of is smirking with his arms crossed, like, yeah.
In Vidachin, Lenora's gonna be like, "What did you do?"
What needed to be done?
Oh, she's gonna giggle.
Mykolas will have sat down next to Lenora, and he was like, "Can I see your hand for a moment?"
My hand.
Yes.
Sure. And she's going to give you her hand with all the bandages on it.
He'll look at the hand. Are you all right?
Just as fine as I was a few moments ago. It's nothing too chaotic.
He will reach into his satchel and hand back the two knives. Close her hand on them.
Oh, I am Mykolas. I am so sorry about that. You have to believe it was not my intention to hit you. It was cold. It was I had gloves on. I was up at 3.
Mawaiwa. You do not ever have to apologize to me.
That will not stop the fact that I will continue to say I'm sorry. And she'll put her daggers back. And say, how are you doing anyway? I know it's been a bit of a journey since we last talked.
It's been a rough time, to be sure, but it's not the first time I've been close to death physically.
That is not comforting. You have to know that.
Once I was a soldier on the front fighting the Crescent. And I and a small squad of men, I was only a lieutenant at that point, held a line against repeated charges while they tried to free some poor fool who fell off his horse and had the horse fall on him. I got run through with a lance at that one. I've been shot at, stabbed. It comes with being a full-time soldier. But that life's sort of behind me now, I guess.
She's going to take her hand and put it on his face and say, fate has not been... yeah, right here. On the side of his face, please. And say, I'm sorry, fate has not been so kind on you. I can only hope to steer it in a different direction for the future.
I would like to point out that fate also brought you and all the rest of you into my life too. It's not all bad.
It's not all bad. And she'll take her hand away. She will rub her hand, and she will finish setting up the little table.
The table's set up. Soraya
She's going to continue
Andre
doing
have
whatever.
gone rather quiet during this whole thing, and they like occasionally give little sideways glances to Umberto, like, "Is this do we?" Like...
This is normal.
Okay, so the food is served, and everyone is eating. It is delicious. Not only is it piping hot straight out of the stew, it is also spicy. They had a couple of some pretty good spices and stuff that they'd gotten through trade and different deliveries through here, and so it's got kick to it. It's the sort of thing. Not only does it warm you as it goes down, but it leaves the kind of warmth behind as you all are eating and enjoying. And they sit back finally as the meal is done. And Andre says, I was actually going to open a bottle of vodka for the evening, if you all would care to join me in it.
I'm always open for vodka.
And he stands and goes not back into the kitchen, but there's a little side room near the kitchen that he opens up, pulls out a bottle, and you can tell immediately, Mykolas, this man gets the good stuff, and comes back and starts pouring. Okay, for you, from Kelvin. And do the Vidachins partake in vodka?
Ugh, not for me, thank you.
I am happy to take your company, but I don't know if this is for me.
And there's a little bit of hurt. Like, Mykolas, around here, like, drinking in the inn, okay. In someone else's house, in both Samartia and Uzura, you kind of take the drink if you don't want to give offense.
Yeah, Mykolas will go in their defense. They are not used to vodka. You and I, we grew up with it. They are used to softer drinks.
Oh.
Leonora will be like, excuse me. What is that supposed to mean?
Oh, so you would like some?
Yes. I will.
he pours a cup for you. Another look at Umberto.
I like to stay focused, so I appreciate it, but no thank you.
Very well, and he pours one for Soraya and sits down. Oh, he's like, would you prefer wine? I do believe I have some wine still put away.
No, I'm good.
All right.
Mykolas has a little bit of a smirk when he looks at Leonora drinking vodka out of pride.
Leonora, you drink your first drink of vodka.
First drink?
Well, because you never did before. Is this your first? Is this your first time drinking
This is my first time
a
drinking
liquor?
vodka. Yes.
So you take a drink from your cup, and wow, it's yep, that sure is alcohol. That is it is strong. It burns. There's no taste that you can immediately discern. Mykolas, you would know. Wow, this is really smooth. This is going down really well. This is really top tier stuff. Leonora, oh good God, why would anyone ever serve this to anyone? Is he actually trying to kill you right now?
In Vidachin, she's going to say, if I die, please take me away.
You'll be fine.
Very many expletives that only Umberto can understand.
And this is why I don't drink.
The drinks and the food are wonderful and delicious, and they tell stories, not just the stories of the dark history of the Volkovs, but stories like fairy tales from the surrounding areas, stories of Matushka, and the various gifts that she has given his family in the past, and things like that. And it's a very lovely meal. No sign of Roan or Raphael. Yes, Mykolas.
At some point when they're regaling, Mykolas will go, I noticed a painting of Castilian work.
Oh, yes, in the Eastern Hall.
Yes. Why is that? I was not expecting to find Castilian work this far north.
By my understanding, it was acquired by some priests who came through here. They were going to be traveling to do some work to the east and did not feel good bringing it on the road, so they put it up. And this was during my grandfather's time, and so, and just to my knowledge, it was never reclaimed.
It's quite striking and stuck out.
It does. There's been a few times I've considered taking it down, maybe seeing if the church had want of it, but I never quite bring myself to do it. It's just such a lovely work.
Indeed.
And as the meal comes to a close, Andre explains that they have an early morning, but if you have any need, we've seen to it that firewood and the like have been placed in your rooms and fires have been stoked. You all have a very lovely evening, and we will hopefully see you in the morning for breakfast.
Of
Grazie.
course.
He stands up, and Leonora and Umberto and Mykolas, as you go back to your rooms, walking past Rowan's room, you don't hear any noises coming from inside.
I was going to say that I was going to bring 2 bowls of food.
Okay.
For them, because I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to make sure they're eating anyway.
Yeah. Well, Mykolas will open the door for her because she's got 2 bowls
Or
of
knock
soup.
on the door, baby.
Yeah.
They're not in there. You can see all their clothes are on the floor. You can see the blankets have been perturbed, but no sign of them.
Where is Raphael's room?
Just down the way.
Can I try that one?
Sure.
Sure, I'm going to look at it.
Practically untouched.
Yeah.
Though you also walking in, you see all of the religious imagery.
Yeah. Mykolas will be like, I've heard of people enjoying the outdoors sometimes, but it's a bit cold for that here.
I don't know if they thought of that.
I hope not.
I am slightly concerned and slightly, I hope that they're having a fun time.
Perhaps we will go look for them just to be sure.
Just to
Umberto.
save them from embarrassment and indecency, because if their stuff is on the floor and they're not in it,
We are guests of this house.
yeah, so we stifle any impropriety.
All right. I need to go grab something from my room and then we all meet out here.
Yes.
Okay.
Lenora, you go back and you walk into your room. What are you going for?
I'm gonna go grab that dagger.
Okay. You go, and as you go and you pull the dagger out from the doors of the wardrobe suddenly burst open in front of you, and a very pale-looking young woman in a dress and a robe very similar to the one you are wearing is staring out at you. And with that, we are going to take a quick break. We will run some stuff on shows we have coming, and we will be back in just a little bit. All right, terribly sorry about that. I was ready to keep going, but my players really wanted a break. They felt like that was a good time to cut it and go away. And so, I got to help my players out. So anyway, Roan and Rafael.
Yes.
So there you are in bed. And suddenly there is an older gentleman just looking at both of you in robes that seem pilgrim-esque, I guess, like a religious traveler going on pilgrimage might look. Just kind of looking at both of you from inside of the room. Certainly no one you'd seen yet in the castle.
Raphael will take part of the blankets and sort of shove them at Rowan so she can cover the bottom half of herself, and he'll scoot closer to make that happen so they're both got their bits covered at the very least, because this is a stranger, and as badass as it would be to see Rowan Winnie the Pooh in it trying to fight this man, I don't really think we need to do that right now. So
I think Winnie the Pooh is crazy reference. I think she's going to take the sheet and wrap it around and tie it on her waist, and then just look and go, dude, what? Towards the man.
I am sorry to interrupt. I tried to wait for you to finish, but it seemed you were about to continue. And so I felt the need to interject.
And just who are you that you felt the need to interject?
The one who knows what danger you and your friends are in right now.
And you couldn't go and bother one of them.
They are already in the midst. You two were separate, and so I could speak to you. They are beginning to see the signs of it, though. This is a very old keep. And its keepers, though well-meaning, have not been able to keep up with the worst of the problems. I've been able to protect them. But now there are too many of you. And the seams are beginning to show.
What are you talking about? And Raphael starts to get a little nervous, and just his eyes will flash to where his stuff is in the floor. And then it's just like he's mentally, while trying to pay attention to this man talk, he's mentally calculating how quick he could get across the room to at least grab a weapon. 'Cause he's not sure what's happening, and he's just worried. That's all he's doing at the moment. He's not getting up to move or anything. It's just the tension is obviously settling over him.
Would you have brought your weapons in here to check on her, or would they be in your room still?
I mean, they're in an unfamiliar environment. I don't imagine he would really go anywhere without at least a knife.
Okay, your knife
He
we'll
won't
say
have his
is
sword
on
or
your belt.
anything, but at least a knife.
Your knife is on your belt. Your belt is in a pile with many other clothes in not the middle of the floor, towards the door. You didn't get very far away before things started escalating. So you imagine this guy is probably between you and your dagger. Based on where he is.
We gotta plan this shit out better. Rafael, we gotta like fold them up or something next time.
Yeah, next time.
Anyway,
we're gonna be calling him blades.
All right. He looks at you both. Many have died in this castle over a very long period of time. There have been acts of great evil perpetrated here. It is, to use common parlance, very haunted. And the ghosts are hungry.
Okay. Are we able to... Okay, first of all, what are you? Are you a ghost?
He gets a confused look and kind of looks at himself. I do not remember dying, but I do not follow the rules of... I do not follow the rules of the living as I remember them.
Right. And she's gonna.
Who are you? I asked for the third time. Who are you? I have asked for the third time.
He looks at you. If I gave you a name, it would mean nothing to you.
You don't know that.
I am from a time long ago. If I told you the name of my best friend, your clothes indicate maybe you would know him. But not as a man that one would have as a best friend.
I might just surprise you.
Very well. My name is Rico. And as you look, yeah, you could see this guy being Castilian.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up my family's noble name to follow my friend. My brothers and father were not happy with that, and so it is a name that I have allowed to pass from me. But since it seems so important to you, I am Rico Sandoval. The kings of Castile for generations upon generations have been the Sandovals.
Oh my God. Rafael's pupils dilate, just stares. I know
Shit just got complicated.
exactly. I know exactly who you are, or at least your name.
He gives a nod.
It's just like, there is so many questions, things I don't understand, and I have a feeling, though, that we have precious little time to ask them.
They are attracted primarily to warmth and passion. You two have had both in spades.
Okay.
I am going to need both of you to make a resolve. And I'm going to call it empathy roll. Resolve and empathy.
Oh boy. That's 4 dice for moi. Because of flare.
Oh yeah.
Flare.
I got a 2. 1 left over.
I got 3.
All right. With 3, well, first with 2, Rowan, suddenly you feel very cold. And you feel your limbs starting to move as if you have been attached to a marionette strings. You take 1 minor wound from that sensation of cold in but you were able to wrench back control of your limbs. Raphael, you feel what you feel is more of a sense of a presence that's trying to bear down on you and enter you. But with your roll, you are able to push it off. No wounds are taken. And you sense a presence, and suddenly the brother's looking around. It's like, we have to move now. No time to wait. Go, come, go, go, go.
We'll move in whatever direction he says to move right now, because at this point it's about being. Yeah.
You see him gesture at the door, and it opens at his gesture. And he starts moving into the hallway, and it is a run. Raphael, you will both have time to grab an item, but getting dressed is completely out of the question. You can grab one thing that you carry in your hands as you move.
Sheet
Grab
wrapped
your
up
axe. I
around
grab
me.
my sword and you help for it.
Yep. Sheet wrapped up around me with an axe in my hand. Time to go.
Okay. I will say.
Uh,
Okay. So you're both able to get up. Like we just established, you do have a dagger that you can grab. Your sword is in the other room. So, but Raphael, so you're able to grab the dagger. And Rowan, you are able to grab your axe because you are in your room.
Yep.
And you both get out and fully naked, except for these weapons. You follow the brother out into the hallway, and he starts dashing along. He's not taking you towards the Great Hall, but he comes down and he leads you to this magnificent, Raphael would recognize, Castilian painting with the images that I described to Mykolas earlier as you are able to move up, and he looks at it and he makes a gesture, and suddenly it goes from being a very realistic painting to like there is a hole in this wall that leads to a Castilian meadow. And he moves forward, touches it, and seems to dissolve into the painting.
Why? Again.
Rowan, looking around behind you, you can see many still images drifting towards you. Both.
Nope. Spooky shit. It's just...
Rowan touches. Raphael, you watch as she dissolves into the painting.
he just crosses himself and then touches the painting.
And you dissolve in. All right. Leonora, back to you. You open the door, and there is this very pale woman who has burst through the moment you removed the dagger from the door.
What is her expression on her face?
Completely blank.
Uh-huh.
If anything, eyes a little wide as if in fear, but it's not matched by any of the facial musculature.
She lets out like a bit of a gasp. I don't do that, please. I'm just kidding. And she goes, "Are you okay?" Is she walking towards me? Oh shit. I'm gonna start backing away.
She reaches out and touches you. Lenora, you feel the cold. I need you to make your resolve and empathy.
Oh, I don't like that.
You need 2 successes.
Okay. I think that's... Can you go to the right thing? I think that's a 5 for me. Resolve, empathy, and panache. Yep. I have 2 and 1 left over.
Okay. With 2 and 1 left over, you feel this like just sheet of cold come over you. It's like it's coming from within your bones, but you are able to pull your arm back before you take 2 minor wounds from that cold, just the chill that you get in the gasp, and you are able to step back, and she is still.
Okay.
Yep, I'm running out the door into the hallway.
You all have heard the gasp.
Yeah, Mykolas has started moving that way. Has a hand on a weapon.
Mm-hmm. What weapons would you have had in the Great Hall for dinner?
A knife, a pistol behind his back, and actually, he might have had this sword on his hip as a sort of ceremonial thing. Come to think of it.
Umberto, what about you? Oh, and who's holding the soup?
I think I put the soup on my desk when I walked in.
Okay.
Umberto would have had his sword on him.
Okay. So yeah, you both hear the gasp, and you see Leonora just wildly backpedaling out of the room.
She's like gesturing to her arm that just took like the cold damage, and she's like frantically trying to like brush off and say, "We need to go."
Mykolas will fully pull out the sword. Then, what is it?
It was a woman. She popped out of my wardrobe, and her touch was ice.
You all glance into the room. There's no one in there.
This is why I don't drink.
It was not the vodka. She was in there. She was wearing what I was wearing. I would not lie about this.
I believe you, Leonora. It is not. I saw somebody running away earlier, a young woman. I didn't think much of it. Perhaps I startled them, but given everything else that's going on, stay close by.
Now that you mention it, I did see someone earlier too, and that was very weird.
Okay. I just need to grab my satchel.
I will walk in with you.
Okay. And she's going to walk back in to where the desk is. Whatever cards were left over on the desk, she's going to throw into her satchel and run out.
You can see that the wardrobe is fully open, including the hidden door at the back of it.
Nope. This we need to be careful. There are secret passages around this castle.
Should we check to see if our friends are inside them?
I do not think that they would have found it. I don't know. You can check. I would prefer not to be over there.
That's fair.
Okay, so quick check. Leonora is all the way in the room to get her stuff. Mykolas went in with her. Umberto, are you also in the room with them?
He's at the doorway, just kind of keeping an eye on the hallway.
You see the figure that was in pursuit of the younger woman before walking down the hallway in your direction.
He's going to kind of turn towards them and again have the hand on the sword, and he'll just kind of lean his head in. We have company.
His mouth opens and he begins speaking. You recognize that he is speaking Userin, but it's old Userin, and you're not able to quite trace the dialect. Real quick, do any of you have the polyglot ability?
No.
All right, so that will come up on this one. It's old enough that without that, do not assume that you can understand what this man is saying. As he continues walking towards you all, and reaches to his side, seeing your sword, Umberto, and pulls it out. And it is a mean-looking sword. It is a hand and a half. This is a bastard sword. It's pretty big. It's pretty heavy.
And he'll draw his. Mykolas, I might need assistance.
I'm gonna try to read the room.
Mhm.
/ look out in the hallway and try to read this person.
All right. Nothing in the room other than your own threads and the black thread that's heading towards Umberto. But as you come out and you see this one and you open and you look at it, it's like an absence of fate. Like, it's not that your reading failed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a vacuum, and it feels like the cold you felt.
Cugino, this is a bad idea. We need to go the other way.
He is about to close with you all. So if you're going to avoid combat, you're going to need to run.
And she's going to look to the wardrobe, and she's going to look to Mykolas, being like, well, you wanted to go in. You are muted. Sorry.
He will say, come to Umberto and make sure that he is going through the door before Leonora, just in case there's something there to attack.
All right.
Okay. You can tell going in that it is entirely dark in there. Does anyone have any light sources handy on them?
Did the room have like a lamp or something?
There is a candle. It's getting dark. There is a lit candle in the room.
I would have taken a candle.
Okay.
Because I would have known prior that it was completely dark.
Yeah. Because it's getting late. It's winter. So yeah, it would have gotten dark. So your rooms would all have lit candles in them. And so you grabbing the one lit candle on a little candle holder. It's designed to be carried around in case someone needs to get up to go to the pot or something. You have this in Mykolas is the first to step in. It's clear this passage has not been kept up. It is dusty. There's cobwebs. And going in, you're not even in, like, because you don't think to look over to the side to where the latch is. Like, this is weird. Stepping in that it's open, but stepping in, you see the secret passage that goes as far as the candle lights to your left and to the right.
All right.
The hallway is probably about 3 or 4 feet wide.
I have direction sense. What direction leads towards the main hall?
Nothing heads directly towards the main hall, but you would feel left based on your guess of where you are and stuff like that. What would take you around in that direction?
I think as he's walking, he's actually going to have one hand back on Leonora's, just like brushing her hand while so that she knows where he's going and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going in that direction.
Umberto, you keeping up with them?
Yeah, he's kind of just walking backwards every once in a while just to keep an eye behind them.
Mm-hmm. Leonora, do you try to close the door as you all pass through it, or do you just keep going?
I try to like close the door behind. Like,
as you go, there's actually a handle on the inside that you're able to use to close the door to the wardrobe as you're passing in, and you feel it click shut. And moving your hand around it now in the very dark, as Mykolas is like reaching out to you and Umberto has come through, you're not entirely sure how to open it from inside the passage.
Great. Sounds awesome.
All right. And you all start heading down this path. And as you're moving, suddenly you start to see figures passing through the walls, drifting in and out. Not all of them are looking at you. Some will occasionally, like, they'll be walking past and go like, and then continue their walk. Others ignore you entirely as you're moving through. At one point, Umberto, At one point, as you were moving, suddenly a figure steps out of the wall right next to you. Do you jump forward or do you step back? Like, based on what you just said, he has an instinctive step back.
Yeah.
It's now between you and Mykolas and Leonora and turns to face you. It has a look fairly similar to what you've seen Mykolas wear. Like, the clothes aren't exactly right, but seem similar in cut and everything. And you can see that its throat has been slashed.
Lovely. I guess some of the stories they had were true.
It raises a hand and it starts to reach out for you.
No thanks. I did not want to dance tonight. And he'll try to avoid it and move out towards it.
All right, so you're backpedaling further away from it?
He's going to try to duck around it and get with them.
Okay. With this thing, its look is horrific. I am instilling Fear 1 on the scene. All dice pools are reduced by 1. Umberto, give me your finesse and athletics. This is a very narrow hallway, so as you try to get around it to stay with Mykolas and Leonora. Speaking of which, Mykolas and Leonora, you hear Umberto talking, and you turn around, and there is that figure. All you can see is its back, so you don't see the slashed throat yet, but you see this ghostly figure that's reaching towards him and looking towards him, and between you and him.
3.
On a 3, you are able to get around. There's a slight touch as you get past. Did you remember to reduce your pool by 1? Okay. A slight touch, so 1 minor wound of cold. It is horrifically cold, but it doesn't manage to touch you enough to attempt to possess you. And you are through and you are past it, and you are back with Mykolas and Leonora. And as it turns around in pursuit of him, then you all see the cut of its clothes and the slash at its neck.
At this point, like, Mykolas is going to need to see if something works. So he's going to slash with his big, heavy Sarmatian cavalry saber.
All right, I'm going to have you do this in addition to the -1 die due to fear. I'm giving you another one because it is a very narrow hallway and Umberto's in your way.
Okay.
So 2 from your... but other than that, brawn and weaponry.
Okay.
Less 2 for the penalties, and I think this is your first weaponry roll, so +1 for 4.
Yeah. So... Do I still get the effect I normally have from having a 3 in the skill?
Yes, you do still get the reroll.
Okay. All right, I'm going to reroll 1. Okay, 3.
3. All right, you get up and you go to make a slash, and you see it raise its sword, very similar in make to yours, though you recognize it as of older design. It goes up, and you're like, oh, dang, it's going to parry me. Your sword passes straight through its sword as if it isn't even there. It passes straight through him as if he isn't even there. But as it happens, its hand runs up and grabs where your sword threw. You felt no resistance. And yet it reaches its hand up and grabs where it was, and as it pulls it away, silvery liquid seems to drip from its hand, and you can see a cut slowly forming in front and coming. And when the liquid drops to the ground, there's nothing on the ground. It goes to the ground and either passes through it or vanishes. You're not sure which.
Okay. Did that look like it should be a mortal cut if it were a mortal?
Yeah, you would yes. You would, like, you were expecting defense, like, to knock this back. You feel almost like you've hit an undefended person. Like, it feels like if you were just walking up to slaughter someone who was unarmed, that's the kind of wound you would have hit, because it tried to block, but there was nothing there, and it went through and its sword did damage to you.
Okay. He will continue backing up with Leonora and Umberto behind him, keeping between this thing. And if it makes an aggressive move, he's going to swing again.
Okay. Umberto, how about you?
If he saw that, he'd be like, okay, why not? And he'll kind of try to stab at it.
Okay. Give me your finesse and weaponry. And because you're front in the line, you only get the fear negative.
Three again.
Your thing goes through, and again he goes with his weapon as if to try to bat your rapier away, passes through your rapier as if it isn't even there. Your rapier goes full on into its heart and it stops. And it looks up at you and steps forward into it and starts reaching around to grab. And you can see the wound it is creating on him. But it is like you ran him through with your rapier and he is stepping deeper into it and his arms come around you. I need you to make your finesse and empathy roll with the fear penalty. You need at least 2 raises.
Ooh, 2 and 1 left over.
All right. With 2, you manage to you feel the cold like wash over you, and you feel like you're, again, like I described, like almost like your arms are starting to move as if being puppeted, but you're able to wrench yourself loose from it, and that you feel like strings are snapping and freeing you, and it topples over, falling through you. A very unpleasant experience. And then again, either vanishes upon hitting the floor or falls through it. You are not sure which.
Ooh. I get it now.
All right. Roan and Rafael. You are in a beautiful, warm pasture. And you're grateful that it's warm because you're both naked as jaybirds. As you are stepping out onto the grass with Rico there standing over you. Welcome. This place is safe from them.
So you wouldn't happen to have, I don't know, clothes?
Let's see what I can find for you.
Thank you.
And he will start walking towards the Hermitage. He opens it up, and inside, Raphael, you've seen Hermitages like this. They are ancient. You have never seen one in good repair. But this one looks like it was just built. It's got inscribings on the walls from bits of teachings of the first 2 prophets. You've seen... No, wait. Yes, the first 2 prophets. And... As you're looking around, just art, very plainly done, but well done, of those who are looking at the various, you see images that you recognize as representative of various sorceries. You see what's clearly a portier You see a Fate Witch. You see a Knight of Avalon. Do you see? Yeah, you see a Knight of Avalon. And you see one figure with the tall, elongated figure standing behind it. You've been around Mykolas long enough now to recognize that is a Los Ajas with a Devi. And just in various places. And he walks over and has this very little bedroom, basically, and he's able to pull out a couple of robes and stuff for you both to wear. It's going to be perfectly sized for Raphael and fairly short for Roan.
No, it fits the moment.
And he hands them over to you both.
Raphael will shrug his on and look around at this place. How much could Raphael feasibly 2 + 2 equal chair? Because Rico Sandoval connected to who he was connected. This is because Wolfgar is piecing together things, and I'm trying to figure out if Raphael can also piece together these things.
Give me a wisdom scholarship. Let's see what Raphael is able to piece together.
Oh, that's pretty. That's a pretty one. And that's a pretty one. 4.
4. Rico Sandoval was cast out of the Sandoval family for following the second prophet. It was very scandalous at the time. He has since become regarded as a sort of saint. The Vaticine faith does not really have saints, but the equivalent of a saint. Not a prophet himself in his own right, but and largely credited with the one who brought the Vaticine faith to Castile. Not the one who brought the whole church over, not the one who relocated it, but the one who kind of set the path. And one who left was actually heir to the throne when he left to follow the second prophet.
And realizing how long ago that is, Raphael's just going to kind of sort of, stare at this man like awestruck. This is like Raphael's even getting a little teary-eyed. To be quiet, it could be just be totally and completely transparent, because this is something he has studied. This is something that he has read over and over again. His book of prayers is so worn, he constantly has to sew the spine back to it. Like,
there is an entire section of your book of prayers that was written by Rico Sandoval.
And so that hitting him, like, he's tearing up, and he's just staring at this man because he doesn't really quite know what to say in this moment as he's piecing together who this man is.
He looks over to Rowan. Now, as I said, they cannot come here. It is safe from them. However, time can travel strangely here, and your friends remain yet in danger. I do not shame passion where I see it, but you have certainly almost awoken every entity in the palace, in the castle. Again, heat and passion. And what you two carried for each other, all are awoken now.
What does this mean, though? I don't, he's like, I don't understand. I've studied this over and over. And he will he will go to reach for it and realize he doesn't have it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
He naked, except for the rope. So
Yeah. Yeah. So he goes to reach for it, says, I carry a book of prayers so worn I have had to sew the spine on dozens of times. Written by you.
has it been so long that I've been relegated to books? It is good to hear it happens eventually.
I am but the minority.
A minority in what way?
Things changed. Not everyone upholds this side of the faith anymore. In fact, I am considered a heretic as of right now
And what is your
by
heresy?
the third prophet. I preached the teachings of the second prophet, and it clashed with the ideals of their third. They, as if they tried to rewrite what we had already been walking towards. They took the reins from a subject they didn't understand and then fumbled it, and I spoke that, thinking if you can have a constructive conversation, that it would. And he kind of just gets babbles off frustratedly in Castian.
Rico
Like,
raises his hand
just
and offers a pause. Always in times of faith, in crisis. Always there are disagreements. There were those who did so with my friend. And with the one who came before him. Do not allow them to sidetrack you now. There will be time to talk. But if we took the time we needed, by the time you left this place, each of your friends might just be wandering the halls, another set of ghosts that poor Andre and Saraya cannot see or remember.
And in Castian, just because for the sake of all three of us in here, assumedly speak it, he's just kind of babbling at this point. So how? He just goes.
He reaches forward, puts his hands on your shoulders, and says, my friend had many followers with many miraculous powers. We created this place as a true sanctuary, a true hermitage, one that could only be visited by the faithful. Its use was forgotten, and I stayed here too long. It is difficult for me to travel outside of it, as I do not have a body to return to anymore. In that way, I suppose I am a ghost. That is how I am here now. Now, priest of the prophets, can you do what must be done and let the wonder and miracle come later?
He will just be awestruck and shake his head in acknowledgement of yes, because he just he takes a breath and he is steadying himself, and he's muttering the prayers that he has practically memorized at this point. And he just kind of mutters under his breath for a second, kind of recentering himself kind of quietly, and just kind of like he's preparing himself to do what needs to be done at this point.
He nods. He looks over to Roan. And you? You are no stranger to the tongue. Your family, originally from southern Castile, yes? You have no clue what he's talking about.
No. So she's just looking at him like, I'm sorry.
Does Raphael know what he's talking about?
There are the groups, before Castile was a nation, it was many different smaller groups that was moving around, and there's some dark-skinned people who are from Southern Castile, but the name Ibex is not familiar from that area or anything like that.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure on that one. My family is complicated, to say the least.
And people travel. It is fine. The ghosts are echoes, and they are emblematic of rage, but a cold rage, of justice long denied. In their moments of anger and loss and fear, they reached out, and were each and every one of them answered by an ancient, very powerful creature. Priest, does the chapel still stand in the castle grounds?
See.
You must speak to them. Fighting them, anger only stokes anger. We use the sword to defend the weak when we must. Yes, that was what you were taught. But anger never quells anger. It only blunts it. To heal them, to free them from the deals they entered unknowing. They do not need a warrior. They need a priest.
And Raphael sort of stands a little bit taller, like his posture stands up a little bit straighter and things like that. And even though he doesn't have like his holy symbol or anything like that at the ready at the moment, it's like he can feel the warmth of it against his chest. And he kind of just sits with that and will look over, like will kind of look up at him and then look over to Rowan and reach out for her hand.
She'll take his hand, a little confused, but also and say, "Okay, well, I'm sure you got this."
He then pauses.
He just kind of...
He pauses and he looks at Rowan. I'm terribly sorry. I was so distracted by everything happening. You are wounded. Rowan, you kind of looking around at yourself. You don't see any wounds.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Not in body, girl. Apologies, that was disrespectful. I'm too old. Your name is...
Roan Ibex.
Roan Ibex. Ibex. But there's more to you than that, isn't there? And he reaches forward and he puts a hand on your shoulder. Your wound is a spiritual wound. Many bear them. But you require... Your wounds have left you incomplete. There's a power you pursue. A gift. Correct?
Yes. You can... Yes.
He looks to Raphael. I must take time with her. She needs a confession. And better
Nice.
with one like me than one with you. You would not want to be the one to give her what she will need to hear when this is done.
He squeezes Rowan's hand a little tighter.
It's okay. Yeah, I do need to do that. There's been things on my chest, but we'll get to
Yeah,
it.
there have been. Sorry.
You couldn't help it. You couldn't hold it in. You can...
Oh,
she'll squeeze Raphael's hand back. I do need to do this, but I mean, in there, I will tell you in time. But
I'll be
Her
there.
acts will not be obeyed against them.
Remember-
Remember, violence only when needed. Go to the chapel. The words will come to you. I might recommend you do take some time to get into more proper vestments.
right.
Yes.
And he reaches up. The wisdom of the prophets go with you. And he taps you on the forehead, Raphael. And you manifest outside of the painting. He then turns to Rowan and says, "And now, my dear, let us begin your confession." We're going to go back into the hallway, the secret passage with the other three. You are now dashing through, mostly blind. The direction sense that Mykolas has is able to keep you on your track and everything, but you're moving, and occasionally it will like Mykolas will want to be going this way, and suddenly the path goes off this way. It's a very weird zigzagging sort of tunnel, and on multiple occasions, ghosts start rising up, and all of a sudden, as you're moving, you realize you've come to a stairwell going up. And Mykolas, just kind of following all the turns you've been making, you've generally been trying to get yourself back to the Great Hall, but the path keeps diverting for you, and you realize this is going to start taking you up into the tower.
We need to make a choice. Either we fight our way back the way we came, or we go up the tower.
I don't think fighting is doing much good for us.
No, and I don't want to risk that again.
But if we go up in the tower, we'll be trapped.
I think it is a risk we must take.
All right. Follow me.
You start your way up the stairs, and then suddenly you get up to the top of the stairs, and you come to, at first, what appears to be a dead end, a wall. And as you are feeling around, what are your notice scores? 2, 3, 1. So Umberto is the first to notice a lever, not even really a lever, it's like a movable brick in the wall. And moving over, he's able to turn it to the side and find a mechanism that he can twist. And then suddenly what had been a dead-end wall suddenly rises up in front of the three of you, and you step forward into what appears to be a large library. Several stories high of bookshelves all around you, circled with pathways to make sure you can get to all of them, ladders on wheels that you can move to certain things. Books upon books upon books.
I'm going to step into the library and just kind of take it all in for a second.
You see sitting in a chair by the fire, reading a book, seemingly at random, is Andre. And he looks up kind of in surprise and goes, "Oh, I see you found our secret passages."
And a lot of other things along the way. Are you all right?
I'm fine. How else would I be?
We have been chased by what I can only describe as ghosts. Geists.
Ghosts. And he stands up and he puts the book to the side, walks up. What did they look like?
Various people. People who died.
People you knew.
No. Some wore, at least one wore the cloak that we acquired here.
She was wearing this, and she shows off her dress, or like the cloak, and says, "She very pale woman." Did you say blonde before?
Just very, very pale.
Very pale.
Yes, a very almost platinum blonde.
Yeah, a blonde woman wearing exactly this.
We also encountered at least one Sarmatian soldier with his throat cut.
He barely seems to even acknowledge what Mykolas said as he looks. It's like, she was wearing that. What? With blonde hair.
She was in my room.
Katerina. Did she say anything?
I don't think she could. But she reached out for me, and it was cold. It hurt quite a lot. It was freezing.
I thought. But if it was wearing that robe, but a ghost. After all this time.
When was the last time you saw Katerina?
I last saw her when we put her into her vault. 12 years ago.
And how did she die?
Her husband was killed in fighting with the Crescent Empire. She wandered the halls, calling out his name. She wouldn't eat. We could barely get her to drink, and then one day she just stopped. It was like the life was all gone from her. There was nothing we could do.
Andre, that was her. She's still here.
She would have said something to ghosts. I mean, there's always been stories, but Umberto, as Mykolas and Leonora are intent talking on Andre, you start seeing figures stepping out of the bookshelves. Ghostly figures from every direction.
And when he sees this, he'll kind of just whistle.
Yes?
Company.
Mykolas and Leonora, you both see what he's pointing at. But Andre's looking around like, what? What do you see? Where?
They are all around us right now, Andre.
Can't be. If you've seen them, and they are from all lands, you recognize Usuran outfits, you recognize Vidachan outfits, you recognize some Martian outfits, you recognize what appear to be Crescent Empire soldiers, those who would have interacted or fought with them in the past. There's a couple with Montanian heraldry on, like, most of them soldiers, some traveling merchants, some apparently very, very old outfits. Some of you might only recognize from museums. Mykolas. One of the Samartians that you see as it walks forward, you see a shadowy, very tall figure behind it, stepping forward with the same blank aspect.
Is it the right height? Well, time to work out some aggression, I guess. As Mykolas goes into full fighting stance and just begins to start attacking.
All right. This is going to be a very awkward fight because nothing they do seems to give any resistance to your weapons. So go ahead and give me your finesse and weaponry. Again, remember, you all are still under the... Actually, now that there's so many of them, I'm raising the fear level to 2.
Okay.
So Mykolas is charging in. That's his approach. Umberto, what are you up to?
He's mostly just going to guard Leonora because that didn't go so well for him the last time, and he doesn't want to repeat that.
Mm-hmm. Leonora, how about you?
Leonora is at a loss. I mean, she's reading the room presently, and I'm assuming she's going to see that same kind of vacuum, the just kind of void of fate. Mm-hmm. And the only thing she can really think of is sending a blessing towards Mykolas at this time.
Okay. So real quick, what you are able to see from your read of the room, most of the ghosts are as empty and cold as the one you read before. Andre reads The Witch and the Magician.
Interesting.
And he's also looking very confused as Mykolas goes to appear what appears to him to just be fighting imaginary soldiers and slashing around at them like a child pretending to swing a sword because there's never any resistance. One of them has Arcana. Or rather, one of the ghosts standing behind the rest, staring at you all, appearing in very regal user in nobility clothes, has Arcana where the others had an absence, but they're all black. And emptiness. If the others are like fate has been yanked away from them entirely, this one is having an influence. And all of them are connected in some way to him.
All right.
Umberto, you would recognize this as the one pursuing the other from the hallway.
Does she tell anyone?
Oh, I think I'm gonna call out to it.
What do you say?
Sorry. I'm going to call out to the Asura noble, and say, why do you do this? These souls need to rest.
They are actually because you don't have the polyglot thing. So
nope, I don't.
He responds and is speaking as if he understood you, but you do not understand his response.
Fudge.
As he starts moving forward and holding up his hands as all of them gather around. They're closing in on you from every side. And with that, we are going to bring this episode to a close. Thank you so much to Basics of the Game for hosting us. Thank you to Dragon of the Dark Rose for producing us. Thank you so much to all my players. And until next time, keep playing more games.